Hey there, everyone. Have you ever found yourself in a relationship, like an intimate relationship, where your interest for having more intimate relationships were a little different than your partner? Like the frequency of how often you wanted to engage in intimacy were a little different between you and your partner. That is a common challenge for a lot of couples where one person may want to be more frequent or the other, wants less, intimate actions than their partner, and that can cause a lot of conflicts. So let's talk about ways that we can reduce the conflict or come up with a solution so we don't cause further distress in the relationship. So this is a big topic for a lot of couples because a lot of people don't know how to navigate, how to talk about our intimacy within a relationship. So I think it's important that when I talk with a couple about their differences in frequency, I like to ask couples immediately is, does it always have to be penis and vagina sex? And people giggle when I say that because I like to be explicit and understand that when you're saying you want more frequent or you want less frequent intimacy, doesn't always have to be regular sex. Doesn't always have to be penis and vagina sex. And a lot of times people actually tell me no. Okay, well great. That's one thing that we can kind of check off. That every time that we want to be intimate with each other, that it doesn't always have to be traditional like sex. So the next question is, what are other ways that we can connect that still bring in intimacy or bring in the emotional intimacy, the emotional connection, romance, just connectivity, even physical connectivity? What are other ways that we can connect that aren't always about penis and vagina sex, where we can still feel aroused, we can feel connected to our partner, and if we are to come up with ways that aren't always penis and vagina sex, that can take the pressure also away from the individual who may not always want to engage as frequent as their other partner. It can kind of feel like a little bit of relief. And the last thing that we want to do is create the feeling of sex being a burden or a chore. So if we mix things up in a relationship and it's not always about penis and vagina sex, it can create a little bit of that spontaneity, right? Sorry, I can't say that word. It also can create a little bit of that excitement because we don't know what the next day will bring or in 2 days will bring if it's not always about regular sex, right? And couples get to talk about what they may want, what gives them pleasure, what turns them on, what turns them off. So just by having these kinds of conversations deepens the relationship as well. And a lot of times my couples walk out of their session feeling relief. They feel like now they have a plan. They can also come up with new exciting activities that aren't just surrounding regular sex, and they feel excited for their new endeavors. So just talking about intimacy in general is really important for a couple. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them below. If there is a particular topic that you'd like me to talk more about, absolutely reach out to me directly, and I'd be happy to work on that for you. If you do like my content, please like the little bell or whatever it is, and subscribe to my videos. I really appreciate that. Thank you.